Hello, my lovely friends. It's Emma here, just a girl who loves Elvis. I hope wherever you are in the world today, you're having a gentle moment. Maybe a quiet cup of tea, or a little bit of Elvis music playing softly in the background. Now, today's episode is going to be a very special one. Because last night, I finally went to see Epic on the big screen. And my goodness, I don't think I was quite prepared for how emotional that experience was going to be. So, now that we've properly settled in together, let me tell you about last night. Because I went in excited. Oh, I absolutely knew I was excited. But what I didn't expect was how quickly it all hit me in the heart. All day yesterday, there was this little flutter in my chest. You know that feeling, when you know something special is coming. Not nerves exactly, not even just excitement. Something softer than that. Something meaningful. And you know, sometimes it isn't even about what's happening in the moment. It's about everything that moment is quietly carrying with it. All the memories, all the years, all the little pieces of your life that somehow find their way into one evening. I kept finding myself having those tiny pauses yesterday, where I would just stop for a second and think, this is really happening. Because when something has lived in your heart for such a long time, actually stepping into it in real life can feel surprisingly emotional. Not dramatic, not overwhelming in a big way, just softly powerful. The kind of feeling that sits gently behind your ribs and makes you take a slightly deeper breath than usual. And I think many of you will understand exactly what I mean. Because being an Elvis fan is never just about the music, is it? It's about the memories that travel alongside it. And I have to tell you something that will probably make you smile. I actually stood there getting ready thinking, well, if I'm going to see Elvis on the big screen, I am absolutely dressing for the occasion. And yes, out come my favourite sparkly dress. Because I kept thinking about those beautiful ladies in the Las Vegas showroom footage. The hair, the glamour, the sparkle. Oh, I just love it. There's something so elegant about that time. Sometimes I really do think that's why I've always been drawn to the 50s and 60s. The world just felt more glamorous, more polished, more magical somehow. Before the cinema, Sam and I actually went for a lovely meal and cocktails in Cambridge. And I have to say, it was a perfect way to begin the evening. There was already that little buzz of excitement in the air. You know, when you're just sitting there, chatting, smiling, but part of your mind is already thinking, oh my goodness, it's nearly time. Even the walk to the cinema felt special. One of those evenings where everything just feels nicely in place. By the time Sam and I arrived, I could already feel my excitement bubbling. The cinema was busy, which honestly warmed my heart straight away. And what really touched me was a mixture of ages. You could see younger fans, long-time fans, couples, friends, all there for the same reason. And I remember quietly thinking, "Oh, Elvis, look what you still do to people." And I have to say, there was something very comforting about looking around that cinema. Because sometimes, when you love someone deeply, for many years, you quietly wonder, is it still reaching people the way it once did? But last night answered that question for me in the most beautiful way. You could see it in the way people were sitting forward slightly. You could hear it in those little soft reactions that ripple throughout a room without anyone planning them. And every now and then, someone would give a tiny laugh or a gentle sigh. And you just knew Elvis Presley was landing exactly where he always has, right in the hearts. And as the lights began to dim, something very gentle came over the room. You could feel it. The quiet hush that only happens in a cinema when everyone knows something special is about to begin. And I'll be honest with you, my lovely friends, my heart was already starting to wobble a little bit. Because the truth is, I knew I might get emotional at some point. But what I did not expect was how quickly it happened. The opening moments began, and honestly, my eyes just filled straight away. And Sam, bless him, quietly leaned over and whispered, "Oh no, not already." And I just sort of laughed through the tears because, well, he wasn't wrong. But you see, when you carry Elvis in your heart the way many of us do, and when there are memories tied up in that music, sometimes it doesn't take much. Sometimes it just takes a note, a moment, a feeling, and suddenly you're right there in it. Now, one thing I have to say, the showroom footage, oh my goodness. That was incredibly special to see it on a screen that size. The detail, the atmosphere, the energy in the room. You could really feel it. And for someone like me, who loves that era so much, it was just magical. Truly magical. And I do just want to take a quiet moment here to say, Baz Luhrmann, I love you for this. Honestly, what a gift to give the fans. You can feel the care in it. You can feel the love in it. And that really matters. And when the film finished, there was this beautiful moment when nobody rushed to move. You know the feeling. The credits are rolling. And it's like everyone is just sitting there holding on to the moment for a few seconds longer. And I remember thinking, oh, Elvis, you've still got it. You really have. And I have to share something that made me smile when I got home. Because honestly, I could not sleep last night. I was absolutely buzzing. Buzzing from the cocktails. Buzzing from Elvis. Buzzing from the whole beautiful energy of the evening. Poor Sam, bless him, had to go straight to bed because he had a breakfast shift in the morning and a very long day ahead of him. But me? Oh no. My body was still very much in excitement mode. I tried to settle. I really did. But my mind just kept replaying those little moments from the night. So in the end, I quietly got up, sat down with my notebook, and started writing. Just letting all those feelings spill onto the page while they were still fresh in my heart. And honestly, that's how today's episode was born. From one very emotional, very sparkly, very Elvis-filled night. Now, last night, I didn't go as a reviewer. I didn't go analysing every frame. I went as a fan, pure and simple. And my goodness, I'm so glad I did. Because sometimes you just have to let yourself feel it. And yes, for those of you wondering, I absolutely will be going again. I have my unlimited cinema pass ready. And I plan to support this properly. Because we need to show up for Elvis. Always. Now today, I'm actually going to take a gentle day. A little pamper, a little quiet excitement, just letting everything from last night settle in. But don't you worry, I will be back on Monday with another episode. And when I go to see Epic again, I will be back to talk about it properly with you all. Because I have a feeling I'm going to have even more thoughts after the second viewing. Because last night wasn't just a film. It was a feeling, a memory, a reminder of why Elvis Presley still matters so much. And I know many of you will understand exactly what I mean. So thank you for spending this time with me, my lovely friends. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep a little Elvis magic in your hearts. I'll see you again very soon.